Hello, welcome back to Bachi Chronicles. I made a lot of videos. There's so many stories I didn't even know. I mean, I've been calling my friends and like people I worked with and asking, hey, do you remember any funny stories? And they're like, oh, what about when you did that, or what about this time, and what about this and stuff. And so a lot of it deals with fighting mafia and cops and trouble and stuff. So those are the ones that I guess are easy to remember. Um, there's the one I don't remember. There's a couple videos back. I told you a story about the low level mafia guy who wear the white suit all the time. Or that one time we put wine on him. I set it up so we could kick him out. So his people kept coming into the club, and they kept coming into the club, and they causing problems, purposely causing problems. And every time they caused a problem, they would call him, and he would come, and they would try to call the cops, and just try to get him to be able to come back in the club. That was their whole thing. So it was hard. Sometimes my security would be a little too rough with the guys. So one time, these guys they were purposely, and I knew his people by now. I already knew his little group of his staff, his soldiers. So they come in and they're going around the club and they're trying to pick up girls for their buy me drinks, and I told them to stop. I had security tell them no more, don't do that, he'll kick you out, kind of thing. And one of the little guys, he always caused problems, but yet he never got caught with anything. So we're in the club, and I don't know, maybe some Navy guys or some English teachers or something. There was a little bit of a fight with those guys. There was a little attitude, and they tried to do the little puff up the chest and everything. The Navy guy was just like, poured a drink on his head or something. I don't know, one of the guy's heads. And so we broke it up. We'd take him out. Now, this little guy, he was fighting his way back, and I think like his pocket or something on his jacket, because they wear these like casual suit jacket. And this story is actually one of my best friends. He was like, he was telling me, you should tell that one. That was hilarious, because he was there. Yet again, I have people to back up my stories. I can give you their phone numbers if you want. So we get downstairs, and now he's got a ripped jacket, and he called the cops, and he called his boss, the guy that I banned from the club. And so now his whole thing is either I let them back in the club with the boss that is banned, or I've got to pay for his jacket because we tore it on his way out. Now he might have tore it on the side, I don't know. And I'm down there and I'm talking to him. He's like, look at my jacket, blah, blah, blah. And the cops come, and I'm like, look. And they knew that because it's just a common repeating thing. And so the kids, like, they tore my jacket. And I was like, look, they got a fight. I said, the Navy guys are over there. This has nothing to do with us. We just took them out of the club. This is really between them and the Navy guys, or the English teachers, whatever they were. And he's like, yeah, but you tore my jacket. I said, I didn't even touch you. I wasn't even here. I was in the office. I was like, no, it was you. And so he's saying I did it. So I'm like, okay. You know what? How much is your jacket? And he was like, $150, $200, whatever it was, $200 for a jacket, like a freaking $50 suit that you buy anywhere. I'm just like, really, $200 for your jacket? And he was like, yep. I want the $200, or now, or I'm gonna press charges and blah 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 blah. So I looked at him and I was like, all right. Now, when you're dealing with clubs for as long as I was and dealing with these people, you learn to think differently. You learn to you have to prove a point. You can't be weak, because these people see you and they watch you. So you've got to always be on your guard. You always got to be ready to do something, and you can never show weakness. It gets tiring, but and plus it gets boring. It's repetitive. It feels like Groundhog Day. So you try to change it up a little bit. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna change this up a little bit. So I looked, because I just came from the office. I was eating my lunch or something, so I didn't even have my wallet on me. I didn't have anything on me. So I looked at one of my managers, and I was like, hey, you got $200 on you? And he was like, yeah. So he pulls out $200. He gives it to me. So I look at it, I take the $200, and like this. I hand it to him. I said, there's your $200. So he's like, okay, thank you. But if you just let us in the club, you don't have to pay. I was like, no. It's your $200. Are we good? I paid him for the jacket. I looked at the cops. I was like, right? And the cops were like, well, yeah, you gave him the money. I was like, thank you. So I reached up and I grabbed his shoulder, the sleeve, and I tore it off. I tore it. It was like, I ripped it. He was like, what? And I grabbed the other side and I went to rip it, but he jerked away. He's like, what are you doing? You can't do this. I said, no. That's my jacket. I own that jacket. And the cops were like, and everybody started laughing, like my staff, even his little wannabe catch guys. They were just like, I was like, that's my coat. I do what I want with it. Now, give it to me. So now he's got a half sleeve torn off, a little ripped sleeve here. And I'm sure he was going to go home and stitch up the pocket. He thought he made $200. No, that's my coat. So I was like, that's my coat. Now he's robbing from me. And the cops were like, he did pay you for it. You did accept the money. And you said it was, so that is, you got to give him the coat. And so he's like, what the hell? And he's just trying to fight. But now the cops are like, look, you took the money. You said that was what it cost. You can't, what's the problem? So he takes off the coat and he throws it at me. And I throw it in the little pond thing we have out front. I was like, I don't need that thing, cheap coat. And I was like, how much for your pants? And he's like, what? I was like, hey, I figured I'd just take them too. And he just, I can't believe it. So the mafia boss starts saying, you stop embarrassing my people, stop making fun of us, stop. This is Japan. You need to treat us with more respect. And started doing the whole thing. And I was like, look, I'm done here. I bought the coat. I don't need it. My security pulled it out of the river and threw it in the trash can, the little pond thing, and put it in the trash can. I was like, if you want to sell any more of your clothes, let me know. So you're out. Don't ever come back. So that was my I bought a coat story. Hope you liked it. Short enough. That's not too bad. I'll talk to you in a minute.